Good evening, everyone, to the second race of the night. It's JSR versus RELX. Well, those names didn't change. In fact, it's JSR versus mcmcGURK. My name is Derrick, and I will be one of your commentators, and my lovely co-commentator is JTolmar. How are you doing this evening?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Doing outstanding. Looks like we are getting ready to start, so let's talk about flag sets. Today it is generated equipment, and the other generated was, I believe it was enemies? I had it written down.
It's generated equipment and generated food.
That was what it was.
Most of the items that can be generated will be generated. That's all we're going for special play. Of course, it's still race percent, and race percent is still 4 sanctuaries plus Gygus, or 5 sanctuaries plus Magic Hand, or 6 sanctuaries and you instantly win. We're having a false start here. JSR is off into the races, and mcGURK has not yet started.
Uh-oh. We'll get them synced up, no problem.
Oh, okay, it's just the...
And it looks like BuzzBuzz is sending us to DeLong.
Well, that's what Aurelius always says it is.
That's not a bad first check, though. That immediately gives us a child.
Yeah, definitely. Often it's poo, not even randomized. Of course, we have the palette shuffle failing to work on the dog again. Always hate to see that. Worry about people getting even worse photosensitivity problems than this game already has. There's another little disco dog. Apparently very quiet.
Uh-oh.
Let me know if that helps anything. Otherwise, I will go fiddle with stuff.
We are going to go check the Liar's basement. I am excited for this race. Both of these races are excellent and should provide us some really good entertainment and race value. So, what is this? Looks like Tucson.
I missed it. I actually, during the commentary for the last race, I went in and added a 30-frame delay after that, because it's just like, I need to do that. It was so hard to see, especially with the Y matchmaking. It's just like instantaneously going through there.
Right. And Key the Shack for the meteorite. That's not bad.
Key to the Shack is a sanctuary, but it's not progression. So early on, I really prefer to see those progression items, because kind of get you further in the seed, you might be able to find some cheeky items to get you moving a little faster when you actually unlock places. Key to the Shack is just like, well, yeah, you're gonna need 4 of these, but personally, I'd rather just get all of them after I have good equipment.
Yeah.
It looks like Irving is syncing us back up. Thank you, Irving. I've never been able to pull that off when I restream, so everyone praises to Irving, who's much better at this than I am. I'll give him a follow.
Gurk going to the Delam check.
mcGURK. And it's Pooh.
Is this game even randomized?
I mean, you don't actually see Pooh there until the post-game sequence, so it's probably randomized. We can't be sure.
Yeah. But that does allow for the place of nothingness check, which, gotta hate it, but it's worth it.
mcGURK is finding a trash bat and deciding it is better than a sheep yo-yo. Also noticed that Pooh started with a glacier water jug, which I think is really high up in the water tier list. I don't know if that means that there's just only one water and it picked the highest name, or if Pooh is going to be like super high level.
There you go. Also, Wada Bills was in the library. So we not only have Tucson, we have 3 access too.
Oh, really moving along. I'm just looking at mcGURK's items he picked up. Someone cover chat's eyes. That was a Buka foie gras.
And then JSR took a death in Shack, or on Giant Steps, so... And they were absolutely beat. Like you said, Falcon, the slugs are slugging today.
JSR taking the death warp opportunity to go check Tracy's item, and it's a wiffle ball bat.
Oof.
Oof,
JSR going to Tucson. Do we know what item Pooh has?
I don't know. I think mcGURK actually uses an auto tracker, so I don't know if he's actually even checked it.
For shame. We'll know when you know, chat.
We're getting reverse mice from JSR. We don't know how difficultly these enemies are scaled. They'll be scaled to wherever the cop check is, and we don't know where it is, so they could be dangerous. There's just a couple of life noodles over there.
Saying it's meteorite piece. Okay.
Go video games.
Happy.
Good eye. I think that's probably a better initial check than Tucson. It's a little quicker to go check Cabin Kid than it is to go check Apple Kid. Though I guess you are risking a repeat. Oh, they have the water bills. You should just go to Tucson if you have that.
Yeah, that'll give him another kid check.
Thank you, Irving. I'm gonna go make that prediction, so hold it down.
Sounds good. We're just gonna take the long bus ride to Threed, and then also go check Apple Kid for mcGURK.
Busting along.
Yeah.
I like this pink grass. It looks like cotton candy. But the ants like it.
It's pleasant on the eyes.
Yeah, I usually don't get any really garish ones with this palette shuffler.
in
The
before
only kid-
3 is terrible in the eyes.
Actually, I think 3 is the one that is the most likely to have a problem with it, because the specific color shuffling algorithm that's used could make a blue into a brighter, more vibrant color than it was before, once it's not blue, and 3 is blue, so...
Ooh, Key to the Cabin from Apple Kid.
Very good to find.
That's another kid check.
Yeah, we're gonna probably have a full party, or a bird, or a disappointment, so... It'll be good.
But I'm not in this game.
Are you a teddy bear?
No, maybe I am. So we are going to see a kid check on both sides of the screen rather shortly. Ooh, Paula.
Well, it is a teddy bear. She did start with one.
Is this game even randomized?
Probably.
If Jeff is in the
she has the Franklin badge? I don't know, maybe it isn't randomized at all.
If Jeff is in the graveyard, we riot now.
I mean, Jeff's probably going to be in the graveyard. That seems very likely at this point. It is a little bit more biased towards Jeff in graveyard and Pooh in Dalam, just because that's right next to their checks.
It is Jeff in graveyard. This is perfect.
Yeah, we got a really fast full party, just 7 minutes in.
Last race was quick sanks. This one's all the kids.
Yeah, well, something's gonna have to happen quick, because we're on the round of 4 now. JSR and mcmcGURK are both very fast runners. Aurelix and Andy are very fast runners, so it's just really everything today has to happen really fast.
This is excellent.
Bag of fries. That's vanilla, right? You can have that to the not even randomized list.
You know what? We're gonna just go ahead and say that. Starman Deluxe. Looking a little iffy.
That's putting me on blast. That or people are not noticing that this game is randomized when their inventory is full of sheep pins and pocket pins and trash bats, etc.
And Starman Deluxe.
Actually, a fun fact, a perfect shuffle has about 30% chance of having a not even randomized, at least one not even randomized in it. And key items are not a perfect shuffle. It's going to be more than that.
Interesting. Okay, so mcGURK is going to go for the library check, find the Wada bills. But they have the ability to technically finish off Onet right here, if Shaq is playing better now.
Alright, and JSR is going to be getting that teleport as well. We have yet more snake-themed items. If anyone would like to add an item name set, you can give me a list of short things that have a clear tier list to them, and I can see what I can do.
That sounds like fun. Now, do we know what Jeff's items is? Because I haven't seen that.
I haven't seen it either.
Arcade looks like it's not going to be too bad.
I'm surprised it's been this deep before we even do the arcade. But we had a lot of checks to do and high priority ones to give kids.
Truth.
Yeah, that's what I was saying about not really liking to get a sanctuary item early, because you can get to do this kind of thing with non-sanctuary items and just dive deep. But it looks like there were plenty of non-sanctuary items in this seed that got us all the way through there.
Got us everybody. Heavily armored Pokey. Oof. Well, it is better to see it early than late.
Actually, I think Pokey's one of the ones where later is not so bad because you'll get paralysis, and he's just an attacking boss, so um, like those don't scale as well. Like you get super late Frank, then it's just like yeah, he hits for 700 damage, but hitting one kid for twice their HP isn't really a problem in the late game. Whereas the ones with PSI get really really mean in the late game.
Fair. Alright, pay attention to what the text box says. We'll find out what the mayor has. Zombie paper. That is not a bad item.
Yeah, zombie paper, it's kind of required. Like, there's just that small chance you're going to find the other way into Saturn Valley. Of course, with the alternate win conditions, it's not as required as it used to be. Because you could just never go to Saturn Valley. I think not having to do Threed Cave is one of the advantages of having those alternate win conditions. Though, of course, if one of your sanctuaries is Milky Well, then no such luck.
Yeah. But with having a meteorite piece, that's not bad. It's not a bad check at all.
Yeah, it's already a check up there. Just have to hoof it up there. And we see Kraken on the roof.
Oh, Kraken on the roof. What is thy wisdom? Use freeze.
Good wisdom. Wildly applicable. Works on basically everything. Except Minibarf and Boogie Tent.
Rest assured, I'll still try it. Carrot key.
What does that bring our sank count to?
Available sanks, 3. Shack, Lilput, and Pink Cloud.
Good sleuthing. I see that mcGURK is upgrading his bat to a mediocre bat, which is apparently still better than whatever we had before.
Mediocre, Morsaw.
Interesting to see that they had different parties, and mcGURK's going to be the first to 4 kids.
True. That is true. We're going to go 3'd it up. Now, if you are mcGURK going into 3, you get Jeff. Do you try Boogie Tent right there?
I mean, I always would. It's a pocket check. The only problem with Boogie Tent is that you don't really know what scale it's going to be. There's nothing you can use to check it. I have seen a couple of runners try to check the dog next to it, but that does not work because those zombie dogs can spawn elsewhere in 3 and they're not just scaled to Boogie Tent level.
True. JSR's not having too big of a problem in Giant Step. Also the benefits of having multiple children.
Having those extra kids actually also helps with your chances of getting the enemies to run away too, so. Oh, and we have a Royal Bracer, that's the first of our poo items. We know that they're all titled Royal something this seed.
We got the meme going of, is this even randomized at everything? Riding the bus to 3, is this even randomized?
These dungeon layouts aren't even randomized. They're all the same as they are in vanilla. Except Mole Cave and the other one.
Those are technically not.
Yeah, not randomized, but not the same as vanilla either. Chat, let me know if the next round flag setting should be not even randomized.
Ooh, how? Okay, while we're checking a couple treasure chests and everything, how bad do you think that would actually mess people up? Unironically. Not even randomized, just sped up.
I think 100% not even randomized isn't very interesting. Most of the way not even randomized is actually quite cool. It'd be kind of a trolly thing to actually spring on the runners. I was joking, I'm not planning on doing it to them. But I think it's something you could really easily learn. It would trip you up on your first run of it, of course, but all of these runners have been putting in multiple practice seeds per round, so I would expect that you know, after like a round or two to kind of get the mindset, then you just be like, okay, yeah, I know where these items are going to be, and I'm going to route around to knowing where they are.
By the way, Jeff had pencil eraser.
That's not very useful. They already have both sides of that.
Unfortunate.
Yeah, I mean, if they get if they get Monkey Cave access, then it comes in useful again. But that is quite a rare check, so probably not gonna be getting that.
Yeah. Looks like Ness is running alone in Giant Step. Slugs were bullies today.
mcGURK found a Repel Burger. We have Repel Burgers this seed.
Not bad. Are they gonna go Boogie Pit?
It actually used to be, before rare repels meant that you never find them in shops. Figuring out in these generated food seeds what kind of repel it is and then what kind of shops you need to go find it in used to be like a critical part of the meta. So it'd be like, oh, these are repel burgers, so I have to go check all the burger shops for repels. Oof, you do not want to see Ness's Nightmare when you have only one kid alive. That is rough.
Yeah. No, you do not.
Yeah, good to go for it. I'm gonna take 3 of these rockets to get through that shield if he's going for that. One of the strategies you can do is just to plow through the shield, use PSI until you get through it. Another is to wait for Nightmare to change shields, because Nightmare actually has the other kind of shield as an ability compared to what it starts with.
Looks like that the spook is not so difficult today, so that may have been good routing.
Yeah, GURK hasn't really hit any of the stumbling blocks that JSR has, and I think having gotten the 4 kids like immediately, it's probably going to be a fair deal smoother than JSR's route, because there really isn't a lot of extra damage when you get Fallen 2 especially, or Jeff and one of his items.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, Boogie Tent was the Feel Bad Police Badge.
Yeah, that's a shame. It is a quick check, like if you want to get nothing out of that, it's better that than like Stonehenge or something.
Truth. So it looks like we should be heading up to the graveyard at this point, or happy to do Franklin check.
I think GURK already did that check. I don't remember what
item. I missed it.
I have no idea. Well, as soon as we've mentioned it, it's out of my head.
Truth.
Might have been not even randomized cabin key. I'm just guessing, because GURK has Paul and JSR doesn't.
Potential. That would be a good guess, actually.
Just have an entire town not even randomized.
Hey, they call it happy. I mean, not even randomized? You gotta love it.
Is not even randomized something that makes you happy?
You know what? As long as it's happy, it makes me happy. The shack fight is easy to avoid if you use Teleport Bravo. However, if you have to come back, Pokey will do the long run up to you to tell you, hey, I don't like you.
Yeah, it actually loses time to do that if you end up coming back to it.
mcGURK didn't do Franklin because it was Starman Deluxe. Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt you.
Oh, he died on it?
Yes, took a wipe to it. It looks like JSR is gonna follow.
Rough.
They're only doing 1 damage to him. It's rough.
Yeah, you don't want to see that. It's kind of hard to tell. Is that because you're leveled or because you're picking up enough gear? Especially on these generated equipment seeds, we don't really know. Like, have you actually found the best gear? Did you glance over something that would have been better? I'm gonna guess that it was underleveled in this case, though.
Yeah. We do have the Electrospectre in the cave.
I think I
So
just saw Electrospectre doing like a 7 damage static shock attack. Yeah, that is very low level. I don't know how that Electrospectre ended up that low level.
I like it though. JSR is taking on the Little Footsteps, so we'll see how that goes. Well, the mole playing rough, it just doesn't do a ton all the time. But it didn't look like it put up much of a fight, so can't really complain there.
Yeah, mole playing rough can be tricky to use as your gauge of how difficult this is. I'm pretty sure that they've only seen that mole playing rough, but all enemies will be scaled to the lowest level place that you could have found them. So something like Summers, like Visiting Summers or Deep Darkness or the desert, all of those have moles in them, so they'll just scale down that mole. And if you don't realize that you picked one of them up, you can be in for a rude surprise when the rest of the enemies in this cave are worse. All of which is irrelevant for the seed, because I'm pretty sure that that is their first mole.
Yeah, it looks like those bears and bats provide no challenge whatsoever. McGurk is in Saturn Valley.
Yeah, I imagine he's going to be... I mean, he has that item, he can turn it in. I think this has to be progression. And JSR is also making a very reasonable play here by going through the Sanctuary after taking a wipe. You take a wipe, you get some levels. Where do you get the levels? Well, Sanctuaries are always productive to do. You gotta do them eventually. It makes sense to me.
Agreed. Third Sanctuary, though, so logically this could be tough. Just depends upon how things go.
Yeah, so, I mean, Third Sanctuary just means that it is the third one logically. It doesn't have, like, a fixed depth into the seed. So if it was, if you use a big BBR on it, then it goes very quickly no matter what. But yeah, it's possible that all the Sanctuaries are pretty early in. And Kirk finds a baggie of mixed nuts in the Phase Distorter. That's not a very good item. I'm kind of surprised that you see that there.
That is a not great item.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure it's not a great item, right? Like, it is generated. It's possible that it could be somewhere else, but I would not expect that to be on top. I didn't see what mcGURK's teleport was, but it couldn't have been something terribly useful because he's back here trying to take on Carpenter again.
Yeah, looks like it. JSR buying that bazooka. Yep, just a bazooka.
Yeah, Bazooka's great. It turns Jeff into a real character. Just instead of just being a bash-only kid, Jeff just is a kid who has a funny PSI menu at that point.
Truth. Starman Deluxe is down. No problem there.
Yeah, more prep, more levels, being much deeper into the seed, it all works out. Jar of Fly Honey, that is a lot of stuff opened up. That's the fourth Sank, that's 4-side, that's a teleport. Yeah, it's looking good for mcGURK. I think the guy did too many mix in there. I think it's only 2.
Potentially. It's okay. So they have all the options for Giant Step right now. They've got Littlefoot Step, or Littlefoot Step, yeah. Actually, that is accurate. Littlefoot Steps, I'm sorry. They have Milky Well option, and they have Pink Cloud. So there is plenty of options for them to start going to.
Yeah, I'm expecting this to be probably a 4-second Geiges seed with that set, because they don't really have any quick other Sanks available unless they get really lucky with just Satin Coffee is the only check that's really on the way from here.
Truth. Now, personally, that is why I would consider going to Milky Well, but it is going to be a lot harder of a sanctuary, potentially logically.
Yeah, it's certainly going to be the last sanctuary, logically. It is possible that logic is just completely drunk off of its mind, but it was found a lot deeper than the other sanctuaries. It should be the highest level thing that they have found so far. Also, it's kind of good to put that one specifically off for last, because once you hit your sanctuary requirement, the third Mr. Saturn shows up and gives you better items. If you do that sanctuary last, then you'll be right there and you can go swing by it. If you do that sanctuary at some other point, then you'll go get some other sank as your fourth sank, and then you have to come back to Saturn Valley, go through 2 caves to get to that spot. It's a lot slower to do it some other way.
That is true.
Oof, and JSR with a 1-letter meme. I don't know if that's okay.
We're gonna have to throw this to chat. 1-letter meme, good, bad?
Yeah,
Either way, we love JSR.
Oh yeah, well, JSR is the villain of the next 3 minutes, but otherwise a great runner.
He's the heel character for this match right now.
I've been very tempted to go into this game's code and make it so Tony will throw out a lone A.
Ginormous O. Fair enough. Looks like Giant Step's not going to be too bad for McGurk. They've taken it a lot higher a level, so they are walking into Nightmare Fight with plenty of power, with all the kids and bazookas and bottle rockets and everything.
Yeah, always nice to have a pile of explosives. That's advice you can take to real life.
Fair enough.
That is a big pile of bottle rockets. I didn't actually catch McGurk loading up with them, but must have done it at some point.
Yeah, I believe it was out in 3. Just bought up a bunch of stuff and been going off of that and how.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Actually, I haven't been seeing many runners checking the 3-arms dealer, even when it's deeper in logic and it's like more likely to be good bottle rockets. It seems to be kind of neglected lately. The meta has shifted.
Yeah.
JSR taking the Kraken fight without Paula. We know that Paula's not very deep because McGurk already found her. But JSR might not know that, so this is actually taking a risk that, as we can see, is not going to be a problem. But yeah, interesting to be taking that fight without having the ability to get the item from it.
Does open up the shop that immediately neglected. So Giant Step is on the menu for McGurk.
Yeah, I think JSR might have just been taking it because it was right there, or even just stumbled into it. Or there's Pokey from across the ring. Yeah. You do waste a couple of seconds on having Pokey waddle that far away.
Go ahead.
Oh, it also makes it easier for you to turn around and talk to Pokey, which you should never do. It will crash again.
I did not know that. It's better to do it here than to be out in peaceful Restal Valley trying to do a reverse Tucson and Pokey runs up to you from a mile away and is like, "Hey, you."
Actually, Sarah recently found a setup to teleport past that trigger. I'm very excited to see if anybody gets the opportunity to do that and has actually practiced that incredibly niche skill.
That is an incredibly niche skill. But it looks like JSR now has all of the kiddos.
Yep, we've got full party here. Probably not going to be seeing Flying Man, unfortunately, so not full party. But JSR has now got all that firepower. Should be easier to do all of these checks that were giving him some trouble earlier.
That is fair. Buffbird does get to live today, though, so that's, you know what? We may not get Buffbird in our party, but Buffbird, we know that they'll live. So, I'm here for it. Nimbus, you hate Frank? We won't ban you for it, but that's a spicy take. That is certainly...
Frank has a very good theme song, for sure. Though he also has a terrible potty mouth, just constantly saying something nasty.
True.
Relix in chat's giving a glowing recommendation for the PK Scramble palette shuffle. It's almost never hideous.
I like the palette shuffle. I like the palette shuffle. I also play with music shuffle and shuffle non-important NPCs.
Yeah, those were a lot of fun. Both of those can get a little sillier. Music shuffle in particular has a couple of sharp edges that might sharp into your ears a couple of times. One particular case, I had the monkey cave theme makes door noises particularly nasty, and I had the Monotoli building, which is just doors, and I was like, I wish I had headphones so I could pull them off my head.
That is true, but sometimes you gotta laugh at it, though.
And mcGURK is getting through Giant Step. I think it's Giant Step. It is Belch. Barf.
No, it's Lilput. Lilput steps.
Oof, wrong step.
From big steps to tiny steps, we'll be every step with you. This has been EVSS.
And to add more step-themed sanctuaries. There's only 2.
Giant step, Lilput step, well step, because I really don't like Milky step.
Yeah, you got your 2-step, the waltz. I'm out.
JTolmar, we're gonna go do Pink Cloud now. That's a smart move right there. Go ahead and take it out. We get the nice autumn color. There's been a little bit of talk about JTolmar being pink coral. It looks like they've got a nice autumnal color.
Yeah, this is really good. Oranges are pretty rare just because hue-wise, orange is this tiny slice of the color pie. Very good. Square step. You can have your adoptive step sanctuary.
Pink Cloud's not going to be too bad. Looks like they're just one-hitting it.
Yeah, and Pink Cloud's a very fast sanctuary. It was the fastest one before the ropes got sped up. I don't even know how much is the fastest by now.
Ooh, that's a good question. Yeah, everything's running from those. First
tank.
Okay.
That's interesting. The Sank order is not what I've been expecting. The Logic must have done something completely different than what the runners did this time.
Carpainter, not bad. Easily exploitable Logic. Or AI.
Yeah, they don't even need to... So actually in Boogie Percent and 80% Glitchless, there's like details of Carpenter's AI that people learn for when you can attack and when you should heal and all that stuff. But yeah, no, they're way ahead of Carpenter at this point, and you can just auto-mash through them.
Yeah, I did Boogie Percent last year at some point. And yeah, no, there was huge details on when you should heal during a bunch of the fights. Talking about damage rolls, so it's honestly not a bad thing to learn, even for Scramble. Just kind of have an idea of what their AI generally is.
Yeah, the attack scripts aren't modified normally in Scramble. So you can have cursed enemies, generated enemies, or attack shuffle all will modify them. But normally it will just be their vanilla thing, but you know, some of the attacks are replaced. So it might be a fizzing zip zap attack instead of a crashing boom bang attack, but it'll be in the same spot in the script.
Yeah.
In addition to that, of course, since Carpenter's a boss, he will have his script de-randomized, but that only matters if you wipe to the boss and come back, or if you last 16 turns, then it'll finally loop after that, but I don't think that really matters to anyone.
So it looks like the Star Master in Cave of the Past had Winters. Now, I missed what Winters' item was.
Me too. It looks like mcGURK went there. Oh, it's deciding to take the sank, so it must have been Bubblegum, I guess. This looks like a 5 sank play.
That's interesting. Like completely missing Winters, completely missing. Yeah, that's
Yeah, GURK hasn't done Belch Base yet, has he?
no.
Yeah, so
So
this will be the fourth sync, which means GURK will have the option of doing Gygus after this, or going through Belch Base for yeah, sorry. There's the option of doing Gygus after this or going through Belch Base 4 or 5 sync.
yeah,
Potentially. Also,
because
Tessie emotes everywhere.
oh yeah, gotta drop the Tessie emotes. So there is at this moment nothing that the rat can give you to give you access to something new. What I mean by that is, if I have my tracker right, which I probably don't, to be honest, there's nothing that the rat can give you except UFO engine.
Rat could give you Cyan Banana.
Well, so yes, but we can't use the Cyan Banana yet.
They already have the Fly Honey.
Oh, okay, that's fair. I was thinking like immediately. Yeah, no, you're right. You're right about down the road. Yes.
Yeah, so that would be a 6 sync access, is why I bring that one up specifically. So Cyan Banana would be, you could do all of Belch Base and then walk to Foreside and then do the museum. I don't think that's the play, because Belch Base is very slow. But that would open up a 6 sync option.
True. Yeah, I was going for the avoid Belch Base at all costs.
Yeah, generally a good idea. It is a slow check. And that pencil eraser is finally coming in useful. I bet mcGURK just went this way because he was like, I have a pencil eraser. I can actually get a use out of it.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, might as well do it.
I'm very curious which route GURK's going to be doing after this Sanctuary. Because this is probably his 5th sync. Or I'm wrong, because I've been wrong about what sync all of these are so far. Yeah, very interesting to see where this is going and if he's going 5 sync or what.
True.
Harina is in the room with GURK and saying that he just said, oh no. Maybe just realized that he has the wrong sync and forgot that he has access to Belch Base.
Ooh.
And it's Starman Jr. Starman Jr. scales up pretty nastily. GURK does have all of those bottle rockets, which are like the main weakness of this loser. But yeah, it's gonna be a tough boss. You don't have Buzz there to spam. Oh, is that 100 damage on a big bottle rocket? That's really spooky.
Yeah, it looks like it.
I was just saying that bottle rockets are actually the biggest weakness of this guy. He's kind of slow. Has really high PSI defense stats. So it's really hard to do decent damage the usual way, which is spamming freeze. But PBR usually will do like 600 damage. So yeah, this is spooky.
Yeah. I have faith that mcGURK's gonna get through this with all the shields and the heals.
Yeah, I see him shielding everyone one at a time, just taking this very seriously.
I mean, at this point, you got it. Like, with the caliber of these runners, yeah, you gotta assume they are right on my heels, or even right ahead, and just take the fight seriously.
Yeah, you say that, but I think a lot of runners, including even some of the best ones, might have just been like, it's just gonna have to be auto fight, and if it doesn't work, then I'm not gonna win this fight.
Fair.
GURK's using just Shield Alpha, which with 4 kids you cannot keep up. You can only keep 3 kids using all of Paula's turns on that.
It's unfortunate, but at this point, you gotta keep Jeff up.
Yeah, I would just use it all on Jeff and Paula if it was me. Though I haven't seen how good of a bat that Ness has, so maybe that's not the play. Actually, every time that Starman uses freeze, kind of lets you off the hook a little bit, because that only lowers one of your shields instead of all of them.
This is probably the longest fight that I've seen for a while.
Well, of course, there was that double 8-minute clumsy robot fight earlier in this tournament. Hopefully, we will not be seeing that matched anytime soon.
Hopefully not.
Yeah, or if we do, then hopefully both matches will be just as good.
True. I think there's only been one fight that I've ever seen that I've experienced myself was a confused car painter fight that he ended up having to take himself out.
Yeah, I've actually had clumsy robots usually the one for me that ends up being. Ooh, looks like GnC is just gonna wipe here. Down to one kid.
Ooh, that.
Oh, gut save.
Is it enough?
Oh, he healed the wrong kid. Or healed the... Oh, jeez.
Nope, not enough.
Yeah, that's a rough one. That's going to be a major time lock from mcGURK. I don't know if he's going to try to give that a run back, or... Yeah, it's a good question. You can use this area to teleport out. You could go to the lab and see if the item's useful. You could take that save and plant a death warp here if you need it. There's actually a lot of options open in just this little South Winter's corner.
True.
JSR is into Belch base. Already being here is an advantage over GnC, who has not entered this sanctuary at all. And I've completely lost track of how many sanctuaries each of the runners have done, so I have no idea who's in the lead at this point.
It looks like technically mcGURK is in the lead, because I do not believe that JSR has taken care of like giant stuff, unless I just completely zoned out watching that Starman fight, which is very possible.
Yeah, JSR could have completed an entire scene while I was watching the Starman fight instead of keeping an eye on him.
Accurate. JSR has giant stuff. I appreciate you, Nolson. We love chat, who's able to help us out just a bit.
Yeah, there's a lot more eyes in chat than between the two of us. And of course, every time you say something on comms, it just immediately leaves your head.
It's true.
JSR's taking a lot of Fobby fights. I wonder if it's actually intentionally at the levels.
My guess, knowing the caliber of runners that we're dealing with today, my guess is absolute. Take those levels, especially if you're thinking Geigus fight is on the table. I would take them. They're good experience. Generally not difficult. If you've got party wiping PSI like Fire or Wave, or I'm sorry, Fire or Rockin', you have a better chance of taking them out. That's just my thought process.
Sounds like you've been playing Extended PSI Shuffle.
I only play Extended PSI Shuffle.
That's a fun flag. Yeah, especially with these Fobbies being like near the 4th Sanctuary, they're gonna have like relevant for the late game amounts of experience. So I can definitely see the argument for taking those levels.
True enough. Angel points out, don't forget to hydrate. Agreed. We're hitting the 45-minute mark. Make sure to get yourself some water. And while you're doing that, while we watch this Trillion Age fight and check the rat item, be sure to follow these runners. They are providing some excellent entertainment, high caliber racing skills, and if you are a fan of PK Scramble or just general good gaming skills, be sure to follow both of these runners, as well as JTolmar, who's the developer of this PK Scramble system. Be sure to give them a follow and enjoy their content as well.
Thank you very much. Of course, you can also follow Derrick. He blends a lot of Scramble and likes to talk about it too, so you'll get this level of commentary all the way through. I just saw that mcGURK found a heavy bazooka in that lab. I think he was probably planning on just grabbing the item, taking safety save, and ditching. but the heavy bazooka probably does change the calculus of this. This is twice as much damage as his primary damage dealer from the last fight. So hopefully you can get through here now, take this instead of having to go do the belch base that he hasn't even started up on yet.
Just pointing it out, French vanilla trillionate sprout.
Don't lick the sprout.
I wasn't gonna, but now I kind of want to.
How do you know it's vanilla if you're not licking it?
It's true. It is true. Looks like we're trying to get rid of those Ramboos. If I'm not mistaken, somebody can correct me in chat, they have the highest offense per standard enemy. Is that correct?
I don't know about that actually.
Like, am I making stuff up?
It's certainly not the highest. It might be the highest compared to their level. But I've never actually checked that. I just know that the highest offense per level boss is Frank.
I did not know that.
Yeah, that's when, if you get like 8 sank and you see Frank's assistant or something, it'll hit you for 900 damage.
Ugh. Gross.
Yeah, it's not as bad as like anything else that you can get that slot though, because, you know, it's one kid, whatever.
True. And at that level, you know, you can probably heal through the roll down.
Yeah, the HP roll down gets longer and longer the further into a game you get. So those single target attacks don't really matter. It kind of becomes more about how long the text takes, because that's how much damage you take before you can fix the roll down.
Truth. Irving, you're right. This junior is rough. Even the heavy bazooka is only 200 damage. Rough.
Yeah. 200 damage is... It actually just always does 200 damage. Oh, there we go. GURK's through.
Not bad. That will net them their 4th Sanctuary. So they can warp to Saturn Valley and they can take care of business there.
Yeah, GURK can just go straight in. I imagine he's going to be checking the Saturn shop before doing it. GURK's a fairly safe runner. Would take those revive items. But GURK does have 5 Sanctuary access, so we're going to see.
It's true. Now, at this point, would you consider taking 5 Sanctuary thinking, I took a little while on that Starman fight, my opponent, an amazing runner, just as skilled, should I go ahead and try that one hoping to edge out the win? Or do you go for Gygas go for broke?
Generally speaking, I would not do Belch Base. I think Belch Base is one of the slower 5th Sanks you can get. GURK is clearly disagreeing with me. But like you said,
better tell that to GURK.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that the Belch Base run is slower than just going Gygas. But like you were mentioning, GURK probably feels behind at this point. And if you're just thinking, okay, I'm probably behind, I'm gonna win if Gygas is extremely rude and JSR just wipes to Gygas. So I'm gambling on particularly mean Gygas this seed, so I'm just gonna go through Magic Hand. I could see that as a reasonable play as well. It's also entirely possible that GURK, having run a lot more practice than I have, has actually timed out how long this is versus how long Gygas is, and I'm just wrong about this being slow enough that you shouldn't do this.
There you go. Now, my thought process would be, considering that this was a quick 4-kid, we have Franklin Badge. My thought process would be, this Gygas is going to be mean. Because Flash could be kind of a problem for us, so I personally would go for this is a mean Gygas seed, Magic Hand might be it.
Yeah, I see JSR is actually checking this Final Saturn shop and buying all the defensive items that he can get and checking all of their stats because he's looking for that freeze protection that you need to safely get through Gygas. I haven't seen any freeze protection scroll past here. Did that Saturn just give 3 butter to Urmals?
You know what? I looked away for just a second and
I see at least 2.
Yep. Yep,
Oh yeah,
there are
that's
three.
pretty. Oh, delicious.
Trillion Age is down for McGurk, so looks like five. Unless they're really banking on something, but I can't see that happening. It's a five.
Yeah, 5 for Gurk. And looks like JSR is going for the Gygas play. So this is our divergence. We're going to see which one of these is faster. I definitely think Gygas is going to be rough is just like true. Because I didn't see any freeze resistance when JSR was going over that. Oh no, JSR is just dipping out the winters. Never mind. I don't know if
Ooh,
that's so. That could be because JSR has also reasoned that this has to be a 5 sank play. It could be because Winter's teleport is right next to a shop. That shop could be deeper in than this one. I have no idea. Based on Gark's experience, maybe it is. So this shop has more chances at rolling an item that might have that freeze resistance.
ooh, interesting. If they decide to go, yep, they're going south. That means at this point, wouldn't you say that McGurk is technically in the lead?
Yeah, McGurk's just completely in the lead at this point. Finished the Sank requirement, or it's about to finish the Sank requirement. JSR has Tessie Cutscene and that very rough Starman Jr. to get through. So, yeah, advantage Gurk.
And actually thinking about it, and again, maybe we missed it. JSR has not done Pink Cloud.
I think you're right, but I could have easily missed that. That's something that you could fit definitely in one of those Starman Jr. fights.
So if they,
Oh, wait, no. JSR must have done Pink Cloud because JSR had the the third Saturn shop. There's after 4
oh,
Sanks. So,
that is
yeah.
true.
And we've got a lovely pile of Tessies in chat. And speaking of memes that we need to do in chat, once you get all of those Tessies done, which we have another like 40 seconds worth of those to do, you need to get your guesses in for who's going to be Ness's Nightmare this seed.
I think I'm gonna go Frankenstein.
I'll go Frank.
Okay. I personally, I don't know why, I personally just like Frankenstein the Third. It is entertaining to me.
It's very funny that this like crude gang boss with like a 1950s vibe has this robot that he's working on behind him.
A 90s era robot at that.
Oh, a wooden robot. It's like steampunk. Steampunk before it was a thing.
All I'm imagining is Johnny Five made out of scrap wood.
Nice.
You know
All right, chat. That's enough Tessies. Get those guesses in.
You know the reference, Johnny Five. It's time to take Advil for your back.
Is that a probably bat?
Probably.
I don't trust that.
We got some
Possibly
Krakens.
Ooh, you want to check those stats before you use that bat, McGurk. It probably misses 80% of the time.
McGurk for final boss. Ooh, that would be a fun addition of gets to be the gets to be added into the boss shuffle.
Speaking of bosses, it's not gonna be my guess because here's Frank already.
He's going swimming. Thank you, Scandronet. I appreciate the getting of that reference.
Oh, JSR almost managed to start it past that roach and pond cave. Very impressive. Guess that's a spider, not a roach. And it's Dodo! Oh, good. We get the All Worst Bosses World Tour. Now, this boss slot doesn't have too much special to it. It is slightly higher HP scaling than many slots. Actually the same as Doggo's normal slot. But there's nothing like super bossy in here. It could be an easy fight, or as easy as a halfway through the seed dog can be.
It is a interesting choice to use the bazookas on the Carbon Dog.
Makes sense to me. You can just always heal Jeff back up when that reflects. You want to get that damage in. Carbon Dog has really nasty attacks, probably worse than Diamond Dog. Of course, Diamond Dog also has twice as much health as Carbon Dog, and it took a couple of rounds to get through. So this will be a tough fight.
So the question is, do you just nuke Jeff with a heavy bazooka and go, we could probably handle with PSI out from here, or do you worry about trying to keep him alive?
I think it doesn't matter. GG.
GG's to McGurk.
Alright, let's go see if he wants to come in here, and actually it's not officially GG. It could crash until, right? Okay, GG.
There we go, GG. 55 is official time. Not bad, gotta love it. You'll see those GGs in the chat. I think... Hold on. I think I actually made some channel points this time.
Ooh.
My curse has been broken.
Conflict of interests.
No conflict. No, all win, all profit for me.
Not what I meant. Yeah, so, oh, there's Gurk right now. Let's pull him in. Hello, mcGURK. How are you doing? Congratulations on the win.
Thank you. I'm well. Hopefully you can hear me.
Yeah, we can hear you great.
Okay, good.
That Starman fight.
I'm not sure what kind of inside reporting you might have had. I thought I had really boned myself when I just shot my shot and then was basically stuck there.
I really liked your decision to go back when you found the heavy bazooka. Like, I assume you weren't planning on it until you picked that up.
I wasn't sure, but I didn't really see how it was going to be possible without something better.
Yeah, JSR is finding that out right now as we speak. It was a weirdly rough fight.
It really was.
It was, I mean, basically like the worst possible enemy for me to have at 5th sync with the items that I had. I mean, my physical attack items were pretty low the whole way.
I think didn't you have a BBL when you came into there?
Yeah, I did. I used it in the first fight.
Yeah, did I see correctly that it did like 100 damage?
I think it was 600, so I must have been really close.
Okay, yeah, 600 is what it's supposed to do. Wow, it looks like Dog was only level 26. We'll see if we can find Starman Jr. in here.
Oh yeah, it's already
just
scrolled by. I missed it.
Oh, there you go. Starman Jr. level 38. Yeah, there you go. So significantly higher than the final boss. JSR managed to get through on the first try, though. Congratulations, JSR.
I guess that means JSR must be going 5 sync as well, probably.
Yeah, JSR had the first 4 syncs, did whatchamacallit, Milky Well, went to the Saturn Valley shop and just bought every defensive item there was there, looking for something with freeze resist, found nothing, and just like, no, I'm going to Winters.
Yeah, other than that, I mean, except for the dive into Starman Deluxe right away, I mean, everything else is pretty straightforward, nothing too scary or anything like that. I didn't think anyway.
Yeah, I actually lost track of the routes you were doing. You actually you got the kids in a different order between the two of you. I think you got Paula and JSR got Jeff.
Yeah, I believe that was accurate. So, I have a question of when did you decide that 5 syncs was the direction you were going to go? Or was that kind of always your plan?
Going in, I was probably wanting to go 5, most likely. Just not having a real good feel for how much freeze and flash I get out of all of the items, even when I read it and it says it. Having a little bit of flash protection still doesn't mean I don't get confused in Googie. Certainly if I hadn't have got a direct... I mean, I think if I wouldn't have got a direct Sancta item from Winters, I probably would have just gone for a Gygus.
Fair. So we were sitting there wondering about with Franklin Badge, the Quick Kids, if you were thinking Googie's just going to be a bully today, I am not going to go hang out with him. I'm going to go to Badge. If that was somewhere in your mind, or was it just kind of a 5 sync is the direction you want to go from the start?
Yeah, the heavy lightnings are a bit of a problem. Even if you do have the reflect, Paula was, I mean, at the time where I think I would have just had to decide, I think she would have been kind of low on HP. Although I guess she ended up well over 100.
The extra fight that you had to do to end up not having to do Gygas was probably what brought her over 100, though, so not too useful to a Gygas route.
I also I figured, I mean, the winter shop was going to be late, so that was probably going to be good enough for items, at least for a 5 sank, not worrying about resists or anything like that. I guess fire resist would have been nice if there was something that had it for Starman Jr.
Yeah, makes sense. Actually, fire resistance, I think, is one of the best resistances. It would have been good against Carbon Dog, too.
As well, yep.
But that's the one we don't care about at all, because we're looking at Gygas.
Yeah, otherwise, it was a decent run, I thought. Nothing really terrible. Was just real scared about how that's, I mean, like I said, I probably would have been, I think if it wasn't Heavy Bazooka, I have to bail there. I just can't believe that was, I mean, I just can't believe that was there.
Yeah, that was very clutch. Oh, I see JSR ready to hop in, so let's pull him in.
Yep, official time of 1:02.
GG, JSR, how do you feel about that race?
I feel terrible. How are you doing? And GG's, GG's.
Sorry to ask.
Was it the Starman fight?
There was a lot of things. I just played really poorly and died a lot. And it was just kind of one of those things where the seed was pretty open at the beginning, so there was a lot of options, but none of them felt necessarily good. I'm actually curious what you did, because I ended up going to Giant Step early and wiped, and then came back with Poo and wiped again. I wiped a lot.
Oh yeah, I did not do any sanctuaries until I was to Saturn Valley.
Oh man.
Which helped. Nightmare was rough. I had a lot of bottle rockets for Nightmare.
I mean, once I got rolling, it was relatively smooth until Milky Will. But yeah, that was just a really tough seed, and I didn't play it that great. But I mean, hats off to you. It definitely was a fun seed, and it was a great. It was probably a great race, and I'm very glad I got a chance to race tonight against you.
Yeah, you two actually had a ton of route divergence. It was very hard to keep track of which one of you had done what. It was very entertaining to watch. So thank you for putting on a good show, both of you. I'm sorry that you had a rough time with the seed.
Oh, no, I still had a blast. Legitimately, this rando is so much fun. I am so glad I found it. And, I was grateful I was able to learn it and get relatively good at it in time for the tournament. But,
yeah, you joined the qualifiers as late as possible and got all the way here before your first to defeat.
Hashtag blame Lyle over here.
I sort of think we have to blame him for a lot. Yeah, so I have the next brackets in front of me, so I'm going to go ahead and go over that. We have next week, we're going to be having some danger bracket matches only. That's going to be Andy versus Sarah, and JSR versus Daniel RGT.
Rematch.
Yeah, rematch. And then we're going to be letting the upper bracket off for a week, but once that week is done, we're going to be having mcGURK versus Aurelius, which isn't a rematch this tournament, but I've definitely seen this match before.
Oh, Ori was so sure he was going to lose. I guess he was reverse psychologing himself.
And you said that, I suddenly wondered, did I put in the right people on the chart? But I'm pretty sure I got it right. Alright, so next week is just going to be those two danger bracket matches. So we also need to announce the flags for next week, which are going to be max item level 40 and 20% PSI learn levels.
Ooh.
Hoping that this isn't a mistake to do this flag set. I think those work out, especially with the alternate win conditions. But complain at me if it's horrible. I can probably be persuaded. But yeah, it should be fun. You're going to have a lot worse items, but you're going to get your PSI really, really early.
I look forward to it. It sounds fun, actually.
And I think that's it for announcements. We don't know what any of the schedules are going to be because we didn't know who the races were going to be until tonight. I'll get those threads out for you and find out what our schedule is going to be in about 30 minutes. So, thank you both for running. Thanks, Derrick,
Thank you.
for commentating with me. Thank you, Irving, for restreaming. Thank you, chat, for showing up. Anyone else have anything they'd like to say before we close this out?
I want to say
Be sure-
GG's and good luck in your next race. And thanks to everyone for putting on the restreams. And thank you for putting on the tournament. It's been a lot of fun, and I look forward to my next match.
Yeah, good luck on your next match.
All I was going to say is be sure to follow both the runners so you do not miss any practicing that they do. You can watch a little bit of that. Be sure to follow them as well as JTolmar, the creator of the Scramble, so be sure to give them some love. And as always, enjoy. And if you like randomized and scrambled content, if you're bored enough, you can follow me.
Wonderful. It looks like we're going to be raiding Lord Taco, who I assume is playing some Earthbound. Taco's been doing a lot of crowd control vanilla runs, so I assume that's what's going to be, and if it's not, it's probably something else entertaining. So everyone go say hi to Lord Taco, spam that bus emote, and have a good time over there.
Well, that sucked.
Thank you.
I got smoked. This is the kind of seed that if I hadn't died 5,000 million times, I might have